This new GPU just changed everything. Today, full performance tests, real benchmarks, no fluff. Thermals, acoustics, power draw, ray tracing, upscaling, creator workloads, it's all in here. We tested across 1080p, 1440p, and 4K, with and without frame generation. If you're a PC gamer or builder, this is the data you need before you buy. I'm Ava, welcome back. Timecodes below, jump to your section or watch the full deep dive. Quick note, everything is out of box, latest drivers, resizable bar on, BIOS up to date. We log frame time, junction temps, fan RPM, and wall power with synchronized capture. So, did it actually shift the landscape, or is it just hype? Let's find out. And I'll show you exactly where it wins, where it loses, and who should buy it. Design first, a premium shroud, refined fan blade geometry, and a denser fin stack for quieter cooling. I/O includes triple DisplayPort and HDMI 2.1, supporting high refresh 4K and 8K pass-through. Under the hood, a reinforced VRM and upgraded memory chips feed a new architecture focused on latency. Headline specs: more cores, next-gen RT units, dedicated AI accelerators, and fast VRAM on a wider bus. Built on a cutting-edge process node, it boosts perf per watt and clocks while keeping temps in check. Compared to last gen, we're promised big gains in raster, ray tracing, and AI-driven frame generation. Size matters. Check length and triple slot clearance. Small cases will need careful cable management. Power connector is 12 VHPWR. Use a proper bend radius. We stress-tested strain relief and temps. Recommended PSU headroom. Add 150-200 watts above your combined system draw to avoid transient spikes. Aesthetic note: tasteful RGB that syncs via standard headers, or disable for a stealth build. Our bench, latest high-end CPU to remove bottlenecks, 32GB fast DDR5, NVMe Gen 4 storage, fresh Windows. Drivers were the newest available on test day. BIOS and chipset updated, game patches current. We tested 1080p, 1440p, and 4K on a calibrated display. V-Sync off, HDR off unless noted. We report average FPS, 1% lows, and frame time variance for smoothness, not just peak numbers. Wall power recorded with synchronized capture. Thermals tracked at ambient 22 Celsius, 40% humidity. All tests used stock fan curves. We include an acoustic normalized run to compare like-for-like noise. Game suite spans esports, AAA, RT heavy, and open-world titles, including built-in benches and manual runs. Each result is a 3-run average with outlier rejection. Scene seeds fixed where possible for parity. At 1080p, esports titles scream, well into high refresh territory with excellent 1% lows. Versus last gen, raster uplift is double digits across the board, with a strong lead over mid-range parts. Frame times are tight, reducing micro-stutter. CPU-bound cases still favor fast RAM and tuned BIOS. At 1440p, this is a sweet spot. High settings with triple-digit averages and solid lows in most titles. Compared against previous flagships, we see a noticeable advantage, especially in minimums. Turning on ray tracing at 1440p is viable in many games, but you'll want upscaling for heavy scenes. At native 4K, we're comfortably above 60 FPS in well-optimized titles, often higher with some tuning. Raster performance lands ahead of last-gen flagships and matches or exceeds rival offerings in this class. Frame pacing at 4K remains consistent. VRAM usage stays within headroom, avoiding late-stage hitching. With RT maxed, native 4K is punishing. Upscaling plus frame generation restores playability with clarity. Latency management matters. With reflex equivalence on, input delay stays tight even with frame gene. Quality mode keeps detail. Balanced is a great middle ground. Performance mode is best for ultra-high Hz VRAM. Capacity proves sufficient at 4K with high textures. Mods and RT path tracing can push limits. At 1080p, you may be CPU bound. Pair with a recent fast CPU to fully unlock this GPU's ceiling. Power limiting by 10 to 15% barely dents FPS in some games and meaningfully lowers temps and noise. Bottom line for gamers: top-tier raster. RT that's finally practical with smart upscaling and tuning. In Premiere and Resolve, GPU acceleration speeds up effects and color playback at 4K and even 8K proxies. The latest hardware encoder cuts export times and preserves detail, useful for YouTube and streaming. In Blender and similar apps, live viewport path tracing is smoother, turning iterations into minutes. AI acceleration lifts denoising, upscaling, and generative tools. Model support varies by framework. Compute scores rise meaningfully over last gen, with some workloads favoring specific driver stacks. High VRAM helps with big textures and 8K image sequences, reducing cache misses and playback stutter. Stability across long renders was excellent. No driver crashes during our 12-hour stress loop. If you're a hybrid gamer creator, this card doubles as a capable workstation without compromises. Stock curve holds GPU core and hotspot within spec, with memory temps well below throttle thresholds. The denser fin stack and larger vapor chamber spread heat quickly, avoiding localized hotspots. Acoustics measure whisper quiet at idle with fan stop, and mid-30s dBA sustained under gaming loads. Gaming power draw is efficient for the performance delivered, with short, controlled transients. A mild undervolt drops 10-20 watts and a few degrees, with almost no performance loss in many titles. In cases with restricted airflow, expect a small temp rise and earlier fan ramp. Mesh front helps a lot. Vertical mounts look great but need clearance. Keep the fans breathing and avoid starving the intake. Overall, cool, quiet, and efficient. Plenty of headroom for boost without sounding like a jet. The software suite is clean, with per-game optimization, driver rollbacks, and easy performance tuning. Frame generation integrates with upscaling and latency tech. Start with quality mode and reflex on. Streamers. AV1 support gives sharp image at lower bit rates. Encoder is stable with minimal overhead. Updated RT cores accelerate BVH traversal and denoising, cutting the cost of real-time global illumination. Reflections and GI see the biggest uplift. Complex scenes still benefit heavily from upscaling. For creators, AI upscalers and noise removal speed up pipelines. Quality is finally good enough for client work. You can export a timeline while gaming on a second monitor. GPU scheduling keeps frame time stable. Tips: update drivers, cap FPS to your display, and set a gentle fan curve for a quieter desk setup. If you rely on your PC professionally, delay day one drivers by a week and stick to studio branches. Feature set is mature. Smart upscaling, fast encoders, robust control software, and broad app support. Value check. Price per frame is competitive at 1440p and strong at 4K versus prior flagships. Against direct competitors, it trades blows in raster, often wins in RT, and sips less power under load. If you're 2 or 3 generations back, this is a huge jump. From last gen, it depends on your resolution. Best for high refresh 1440p, entry to mid 4K, and hybrid creator work. Esports gains are massive. If your current card stutters in new releases, buy with confidence. Otherwise, watch for sales or bundles. Board partner models vary. Prioritize cooling and warranty over flashy RGB. Pay for the cooler you need. This GPU delivers real gains where it counts. Smooth frames, cooler temps, smarter features. Links to our tested configs below. Drop questions in the comments. I read them all. If this helped, tap like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next benchmark deep dive.